Hello everybody, welcome to my next tutorial of comparable and comparator interface. In my last video and my last tutorial I taught you, I explained how comparable interface works in Java. I showed you this a simple program. Today I'll explain you how comparator interface works in Java. Okay, so I'll quickly review what is comparable and comparator interface, and then I'll show you code of comparator interface. I'll explain you how it works and all. Okay, so let me review it. The functionality of comparable interface. As I said, to sort objects stored in collection. Of course, elements are stored in collection. The elements which are stored in collection are objects. Okay, so to sort objects stored in a collection, we have two interfaces, comparable and comparator interfaces. They're very important to know interfaces in context of development you do, or in context of interview that you will be facing in your future. Okay, so you must understand the internal functionality, the differences between two interfaces, and how you will be using it. Okay, so comparable interface sorts objects on the basis of actually natural order. The objects are stored in a collection and ordered in their natural ordering. Okay, uh, it has just one method, which is compared to. Of course, the return type of this method is integer. Everyone knows that, and returns 1, -1, and 0 depending upon the situation of the comparison of two objects. Okay. uh, the most important point to note here is that comparable interface comes from Java.language package, which is by default imported by all Java classes. Uh, but we, uh, but when we talk of comparator interface, this does not come from Java.language package. Rather, it comes from Java.util package, a package which is responsible for all collection classes and interfaces. So if you want to use comparator interface, you have to import Java.util package. So this is the basic difference between comparable and comparator interface. Comparable interface comes from Java.language package. Comparator interface comes from Java.util package. Okay, and then comparable interface sorts objects in their natural ordering. But comparator interface can sort objects as per user's will. Now, what does this mean, as per user's will? If I say an employee is a class and it has several attributes, like employee can have ID, employee can have their names, their year of experiences, okay, and their salary. So these are couple of attributes I'm talking about. So if you want to sort objects, sort employees on the basis of their salary or on the basis of their year of experiences, we can do it using comparator interface. This is the preference we are given in comparator interface. It does not have any extra concept than what we were using in comparable interface. Rather, this is, we can say, an extension of comparable interface. Okay, so now quickly I'll show you how to use a comparator interface in Java. Okay, look, here there are a couple of classes I've already created. First of all is state class, a class, and then some instance variable. These are the attributes I was talking about. State can have population, name, area, and literacy percent, and then a parameterized constructor, as I did in case of comparable interface. So this code is quite understandable now. It should be understandable by now. Okay, I did nothing but initialization of all instance variable that I had created here. Okay, and then getters and setters for these instance variables. At last, I did override toString method. I'll explain it again. I did explain it in my last video as well. ToString method just converts all the objects into strings. Actually, what I have done is I have passed some couple of arguments, and then I try to print value of these arguments, or I try to print the values. Okay, so this value will be printed once I do the overriding of toString method. Otherwise, some alphanumeric value will be printed. I'll show you how it gets printed. Some alphanumeric value will get printed. Okay, so to avoid that and to get the real value when you print it, I just override toString method. Okay, this is a good concept, and for developers it is good to be clear that toString method just converts anything into string. Okay, and then I created another class. Now there is one difference between comparable and comparator interface again. Uh, while using comparable interface, you were just implementing the comparable interface right here. But in the case of comparator interface, I don't have to implement the comparator interface with this class state. Okay. Now I have created another class wherein I am trying to sort, or I've given name of this class sort by area. That means I'm trying to use the concept of sorting objects of state on the basis of the area. Okay, and then I've implemented comparator interface, the interface responsible for sorting. I pass state because I'm gonna sort objects of state. Okay, if you don't pass this as generic, I have explained in my last video, if you don't pass this as generic to your interface, you'll have to pass the object of object class, and then you'll have to typecast those objects into state. Okay, so I just passed state as generic for this comparator interface, and then I directly pass objects of state class so that I don't have to, I just to avoid casting I did this. Okay, and then is again the same code, s1.area greater than s2.area, return 1, otherwise return -1, and then return 0. I've explained this. Okay, since its return type is integer, it returns three integer values. It returns 1, it returns -1, and then it returns 0. Okay, depending upon these three situations. And again the very same code when I've tried sorting these objects of state class on the basis of literacy percent. I created again two objects of state, and then just call instance variable for literacy percent. Okay, same code, 1, otherwise -1 if literacy percent for O1 is less than literacy percent for O2, otherwise 0 if literacy percent of O1 is same as literacy percent of O2. So same code, and likewise you can create several classes to sort objects on the basis of different attributes. Okay, the code will be pretty simple and pretty same. Okay, and then I have finally created a class wherein I have created real objects of state class. Okay, I've created objects here. I can afford to comment. I did comparison here rather directly sorting it. I just compared it. If s1.getArea is greater than s3.getArea, since I have compared objects of state class, I can do this. I just got area of s1 and s3 and compared the values, and if it's greater, I just try to print name. So if this condition will be true, I'll get name of state for s1, and otherwise I'll get the name for s3. Okay, and then the copybook code, the very same code, when I've created some collection, it's list, and I've stored the objects into this list. Okay, and then did this collections.sort. Now again, another basic and major difference between comparable and comparator interface is that while calling sort method in case of comparable interface, I just passed list as its argument because I need to compare the collection wherein I've stored those objects which needs to be sorted. But in case of comparator interface, I have passed two arguments. This is very important. One is list collection, wherein I have stored objects which are to be sorted, and then is objects of that class on basis of which these objects are to be sorted. Okay, I've created here objects of sort by area. That means my objects are to be sorted on the basis of area. Similarly, if I need to sort objects on the basis of literacy percent, I will just call collections.sort past list or collection wherein I have stored those objects, and objects of the class by which or according to which these objects are to be sorted. So this is the fourth difference between comparable and comparator interface, that is sort method call in the case of comparable and sort method call from collections class in the case of comparator interface. Okay, and then I have printed this list. Pretty simple code and pretty same code as was in the case of comparable interface. The only difference is that I have to create some extra classes for sorting objects in extra ways. Okay, so I'll quickly run this code. Okay, this Kerala will be okay. Kerala comes because S1 dot area is greater than S2 dot area. Let me see. Kerala is named for which? Kerala is named for S3. Okay, so that means area for S3 is greater than area for S1. And for that we'll have to go and see the signature. Area is third attribute. Area is third attribute. Okay, so area for Bihar is 1 to 1, area for Kerala is 110. That means if S1 dot area is greater than S3 dot area, it will print S1 dot get name. S1 dot area is greater than S3 dot area, it will print let me just do some adjustments here so that I could get the result which is clear and understandable. Okay, then again run this program. Okay, so I have sorted this on the basis of area. So area for, I can see the code again. Area is in population, then is name, then is area. It's population, then name, this is area, then literacy percent. Okay, so collections.sort is list on the basis of area, and then I get this answer. Assam, where is Assam? Assam has list area, then will be Kerala because Kerala has an area, and then will be Bihar because Bihar has maximum area defined in this program. Okay, so this is how we can sort objects on the basis of area using comparator interface. Pretty simple code as was in the case of comparable. Similarly, I can do the very same thing for literacy percent and for rest of the attribute as well. Okay, viewers, please let me know if you are in position to understand what I explained. Do like and subscribe this video if you like it, beneficial for you, profitable for you. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.